Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Kai with KBG Welding. I wanted to talk about the difference between proposals and bids. Now, when you're dealing with residential and welding, when you're dealing with bids and proposals, estimates, quoting, that type of job, we're looking for jobs. We're getting to the point of jobs where we get to the table. That's the goal, is get to the table and to eat as well, right? But there's a couple of things that I want you to understand, and something that it might take you some time to grasp. So the difference between a bid or a quote, just quote, and a proposal, usually the terms and what happens is the size of the project. If you have a small job that you're doing, it's usually a residential job. It can be a commercial job, but it can be, you're a sub, you're further down the food chain in that process. So you're just, it's pretty cut and dry. There's not a whole lot of specifics to it where you have to get into details. You have to draw up contracts, that type thing now. But when we get into a commercial project, when we get into a larger project, we're talking about contracts, we're talking about proposals, we're talking about just being square. Now, in any job that we do, and you want to start this in the small things, is the details. You want to cover yourself for the details, because there are red flags, there are pitfalls that you can fall under if you don't cover yourself and know and have it documenting what the expectation or the scope of work is supposed to be. So I want you to be careful on that. But when we're talking about smaller jobs, you're just talking about, hey, this is the scope of work that we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is a picture. This is what you want. This is where you want it. Those types of things, right? We're covering that. Then we go to the, if it gets more detailed, now we leave ourselves, and I've done it. We leave ourselves vulnerable to frustrations. We leave ourselves vulnerable to things that are unnecessary when it's not in black and white. When we get into something that's a little larger, there's more money involved. There's more work. The scope of work is more detailed, and we don't document it to the full extent and get it signed off. Then we kind of, again, we leave ourselves vulnerable for that. So the difference between a bid, which is basically writing down, hey, this is what you want, this is what we're going to do, this is cost, as opposed to more of a proposal and more of a contract to cover yourself, is detailing the work, getting whether it's a blueprint, a shop drawing, and it can be a hand sketch thing depending on where you're at in the business, because those aren't free. If you get a shop drawing, a detailed drawing or something, those aren't free. You have to add those into the cost as well, but that's another video. But you want to cover yourself. You want to cover that so that, hey, this is what the end result is going to look like. I need you to agree on this or not right now before we start, because we're not going to get into this halfway through. And if you don't have a drawing, if you don't have something like that, then you might end up wrestling with a customer that, again, it's a he say, she say thing. It's just a battle. So to avoid that, we want to go from bids and just be detailed. Again, if they get into the bigger jobs, if it's a small job, we can sketch it. If you have hardware, software, if you have software that you do that, if you're capable of doing that, you have somebody that can do that, that's awesome. 3D renderings are great. My guy at All Season Ironworks, he's a beast with those, and they help secure jobs. They help win jobs because you get that rendering, they get that visual. So, but if not, again, just a hand sketch. But especially when you have the bigger jobs, things that are going to be more detailed, they're going to take longer. Get those blueprints, get something, get a rendering so that, hey, this is what we're going to do. If you sign off on this, this is what the cost is, and this is what you're going to get. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. So I want to encourage you to take that tip when you're doing your bids, when you're doing your proposals. The difference between residential and commercial is a lot of times, but again, even on the more extensive, my rule of thumb is anything over $1,000, anything over $2,000, I'm going to get it signed off, and Anything over $5,000, we're signing a contract. We're signing more of a contract of the scope of work, getting it detailed, getting all that taken care of. Now that's my rule of thumb now. Because again, I've gotten burned, I've gotten bit, a lot of anguish, a lot of frustration. So encourage you to do that. So thanks. I hope this helps. Check us out for more. We got some more topics, more things along this line. To help you grow your business, your welding business, into the empire that you want it to be. I don't know what you're envisioning, but whatever that vision is, you can accomplish it. Thanks for checking us out. KBG Welding, serving God, burning rods. Like, subscribe. Thank you.